Okay, we're going to look at assigning resources onto the LMS system. So we need to upload the resource and then we need to assign it to a class. First of all, we'll just look at a single document, and then later on we'll look at how to mass upload and mass assign. So here on my screen I've got a folder called LMS Uploads. I've just made this in my teaching folder on my computer, and I'm going to try and upload this one here called Dreamweaver Assessment. So first thing I need to do is to go into TAS. Once we're in TAS, I'm going to switch over to the LMS module, and over here on the left hand side I've got one called Learning Objects. So I want to go into Learning Objects, click on there. Now what I see on the left hand pane is My Learning Objects and Central Repository. So the difference between those is if I put something in My Learning Objects, nobody else can access it, no other teachers can use it, so it can't be assigned to other classes apart from the ones I teach. So everything at the moment is defaulted to go into the central repository, which basically means all teachers of that subject can get to those documents and they can be assigned to their classes. So here's ICT Junior. Inside ICT Junior we've got Year 10, and I want to put something in here for website design. So at the moment there's not a folder, there's not a topic folder for website design. I know there's one in the system, but there's nothing actually in it, so it doesn't show unless there's content. So I'm going to go through the process now of putting that folder in there for that topic and adding a resource into it. So I'm going to come up to the top here where it says create a learning object, hover over it, and I'm going to choose resource. Okay, when that loads up I get this window that I can start to fill in, detailing what I want to do. So the subject area is ICT Junior. The year group is going to be 10. The way the system's set up at the moment, subject teachers themselves can't create topics, only heads of departments. I know that the topic I want's already in there because I designed it last year. So there's my website design topic, self-sourced because it's coming from me, and it's an assessment criteria, and it's actually for website design. And I'm going to use that as the description as well, so I'm just going to copy it using Control-C and paste it with Control-V. So the resource type is going to be a document. I'll scroll this up, and I've just got to find where it is at the moment. So I'm going to go to this folder that I've set up on my hard drive, choose this document and click open. So that knows it's in there now. It's a PDF file that tells me how big it is. All I have to do now is to hit save, and that should put that into that central repository for me. And now you'll see this is the description of the document itself, and on the left hand side now under Year 10 I have got a folder called website design, and it's put inside resources this particular file. This gives me all the information about the file, but basically if I want to assign it I have to go down to this bottom. At the moment it says the resource has not been assigned, so no groups have got it. So I'm going to go for a class assign because I'm going to assign it to a class. Custom assign is if you want to assign something to individual students, so it might be that you wanted to give something to only 5 or 6 students in a group rather than the whole class, in which case you could choose custom. I'm going to go for class assign, choose class assign, and I'm going to give it to all of the classes. So I'm going to go to all classes, and I'm going to choose all of the classes in Year 10 ICT Junior. There's my Year 10 group. So if I hold down Control while I click, I can select multiple groups. There's all 5 of the groups. I'm going to hit add, and I'm going to hit save, and it should tell me now in a moment in this right hand pane as it's finished loading and refreshing. If I scroll down to the usage panel again, now I can see that this has been assigned to all of these groups. At a later stage I might decide that I don't want this assigned to these groups. So it might be that in the next term we don't need these resources anymore, so rather than cluttering up the students' dashboard on their version of Student Cafe, we might want to actually remove these things. So first of all I unassign them, very easily done. I'm just going to hit the delete button, and when I hit delete and I'll confirm, and it will remove that assignment of that resource from each of these groups. Okay, now I'm back to this saying the resource has not been assigned. The resource itself, however, is still in the repository. Now I can leave it in there if I choose to, but if I decide I don't want it there, maybe I'm not going to use this resource anymore, maybe next year I've got to have a better version or a different version, I can simply come up here and hit delete. Again, it asks for confirmation, and that will now remove that resource completely from my repository. Now it may not have removed it immediately in the view, but when this refreshes it will no longer be there.